Even if it is chasing pure pleasure that you are after, fapping it to porn all the time isn't the way to go. You will have more pleasure if you do it less often. I started to do NoFap for like the most ironic reason ever to do NoFap. Most people, they see this video on the internet talking about how it can give you weird sexual preferences, fetishes and stuff, and it can numb your dopamine system, and then they're like, oh, that's me. Guess I'm gonna have to stop watching porn. Guess I'm gonna have to do this NoFap thing. And don't get me wrong, those are very great reasons, but I started to do NoFap for a much different reason. An extremely ironic reason. If you're gonna hear this, you're probably gonna think, Rob, that's like the worst reason to ever do NoFap. And yeah, maybe it is, but at the same time, it might just be the absolute best reason. Which is this. I started to do NoFap because I liked to fap. I sort of discovered by accident that if I didn't fap all the time, I didn't fap every day, that fapping felt better. Fapping less frequently was better than fapping very frequently. I sort of discovered this by accident. I was very occupied at the time. I think this was when I was starting my online poker career. I was grinding it away on the poker tables, and so I was just occupied. I didn't really have a lot of time to just play with my dick in the evening. I would just play poker, learn poker, and then go to sleep. And so by the end of the week, you know, maybe I made some time for myself to do some relaxing activities, and I might fap like once a week or something. And I discovered that being someone who was used to fapping every day, like several times a day, that going from fapping several times a day to fapping once a week was just mind-blowing. It was a mind-blowing experience. It felt so much better than doing it every day. And I also started to notice that I could just get aroused from most things, as opposed to being dependent on like whatever flavor of the month fetish I had at that time, which I was used to when I was fapping every day, right? I get rid of specific preferences, and I was looking for that specific video in a specific category, and I was looking for a certain position and skipping around to the videos all the time. And I discovered that if I didn't do it every day, but I just did it once a week, I could just literally get a random video. I could just get a video of a girl in a bikini, right? And I could fap it to that video, and it would feel better than fapping to like the hardcore fetish stuff that I used to do before every day. Much better. And so I started to do NoFap because I liked to fap to make fapping feel better. And along the way, I sort of discovered the so-called benefits of NoFap, right? This was before it was a thing on the internet, but I did discover that I felt more energized, and whenever I had fapped, I felt sort of more drained again. And I started to notice that the more often I started to fap, the more I became dependent on certain things again. And so I sort of rolled into the NoFap thing, the NoFap benefits, by accident. And my motives to do NoFap changed from just chasing pure pleasure to actually seeing the benefits of NoFap. But still, my original reason to do NoFap, if I think back about it, it is probably one of the most powerful realizations that I ever had. It is one of the most motivating things that you could possibly have when you are trying to do NoFap, when you are trying to quit watching porn all the time, because this is the realization. Even if it is chasing pure pleasure that you are after, fapping it to porn all the time isn't the way to go. You will have more pleasure if you do it less often. People often get stuck in this mindset where they're like, oh well, fapping to porn, that's pleasure, but we are supposed to sacrifice pleasure because we need motivation to work towards our goals and stuff, right? The dopamine system. So we have to sacrifice the pleasure in order to get the good lifestyle, right? So many people are stuck in that mindset, and it couldn't be further from the truth. If you don't fap it to porn every day, you actually get more pleasure. The times when you do fap are actually better than when you fap it every day. Fapping it once a week, fapping it once a month, twice a month is so much better than fapping it every day. And to take it even a step further, if you actually get your life together and you actually get the opportunity to sleep with real people, sleeping with a real person, having real sex with a real person is like so much better than fapping it to fetish porn every day. And so it's literally the opposite of sacrificing pleasure. You are not sacrificing pleasure, but you are actually getting more pleasure out of life in so many different ways. But even when it comes to like the pure sexual pleasure, if it is chasing pure sexual pleasure that you are after, then not watching porn all the time, aka doing NOFAP, is exactly what you should be doing. I mean, in a way, it is so obvious, but so many of us just don't think about it in this way. I mean, we see this same phenomenon happening everywhere. Drugs, alcohol, right? If you drink alcohol once a month, or even like once a week, right? You party once a week and you get drunk, you have fun, right? Drinking the alcohol is fun. It makes you have fun. But what happens if you turn into an alcoholic that drinks alcohol every day? It's no longer fun, right? You sort of get stuck into this addiction. I'm not sure if you can actually call it an addiction when it comes to porn, but you sort of get stuck into like chasing this instant gratification because you become dependent on it and you think you need it to make you feel better. And in some way it does make you feel better because otherwise you would be feeling horrible. But it doesn't actually make you feel as good as when you don't do it every day. Not being an alcoholic, not drinking every day, but drinking once a week, drinking once a month, that's when it actually is fun, right? If having fun from drinking alcohol is the thing that you want, you should not be doing it every day. You should be avoiding it for certain periods of time, and then you should only allow yourself to do it like once every so often, not too often. That's when you can actually enjoy it more. Not being an alcoholic is not about sacrificing pleasure. It's literally the opposite. Not being an alcoholic makes you have more pleasure in life than being an alcoholic. It makes you have more pleasure from alcohol itself than being an alcoholic. It works literally the exact same way with sexuality.